Inside the secret deal King Charles reportedly made with Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor. Welcome to Crown Chronicles, your ultimate gateway into the most intriguing, mysterious, and shocking stories hidden behind palace walls. If you love unraveling the secrets of the British royal family, discovering what really happens beyond the cameras, and hearing the stories the palace rarely admits publicly, then make sure you hit that subscribe button right now, because today's episode dives into one of the most controversial and whispered about royal agreements of the decade. For months, rumors have rippled through the corridors of power and across the British press about a private arrangement between King Charles III and his younger brother, Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, the man formerly known as Prince Andrew. Some call it a truce. Others call it a payout. And a few insiders dare to call it exactly what it sounds like: a secret deal crafted to keep the monarchy stable while containing the fallout from one of the most damaging scandals the institution has ever faced. But what was really agreed behind closed doors, and why now, when tensions within the royal family have reached a boiling point? Let's unravel this story from the beginning. Ever since Andrew stepped back from public life, his presence has been a delicate subject inside Buckingham Palace. His association with scandals left the monarchy scrambling to protect its reputation. And Queen Elizabeth II spent her final years quietly shielding him from total public exile. But everything changed when King Charles ascended the throne. Charles made it clear from the start that his reign would focus on transparency, modernization, and, above all, preserving the crown's image at any cost, and that's where whispers of a behind-the-scenes deal begin. According to senior royal sources, King Charles and Andrew reportedly held a series of private conversations early this year, conversations that took place away from advisors, away from staff, and away from the ears of the media. These weren't warm, brotherly catch-ups. These were negotiations. Delicate, tense, carefully worded negotiations designed to end the internal dispute over Andrew's living arrangements, finances, and future role. One of the biggest issues at the center of these talks was Royal Lodge, the massive, 30-room Windsor estate Andrew refuses to vacate. Maintaining the property costs a staggering amount each year. With a slimmed-down monarchy, Charles sees no justification for funding the lifestyle of a non-working royal whose public life has effectively ended, yet Andrew has been adamant: Royal Lodge is his home, his sanctuary. The one thing he has left. That's where the alleged secret deal comes in. Behind the scenes, King Charles reportedly offered Andrew a compromise, one that would avoid legal battles, public humiliation, and the embarrassing spectacle of a royal eviction. Charles allegedly agreed to allow Andrew to remain at Royal Lodge temporarily, but only under certain strict conditions. According to insiders, these conditions might include personal financial responsibility for the property's upkeep, restrictions on who he entertains at the estate, and a quiet agreement that he will eventually relocate to a smaller royal residence once renovations are completed at Frogmore Cottage or another Windsor property. This would allow the king to reclaim Royal Lodge for future royal use, possibly for Prince William's expanding staff or even for future heirs, without forcing his disgraced brother into the public spotlight again. But the deal reportedly goes deeper. Some sources claim that Andrew agreed, in return, to finally accept the permanent removal of any remaining ceremonial privileges. No public balcony appearances. No official military roles. No return to royal duties, ever. This would allow King Charles to fully draw a line under the scandal, ensuring that Andrew's shadow no longer threatens the monarchy's reputation during this sensitive era of transition. What makes this even more fascinating is that Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, Andrew's daughters, are said to have been deeply involved in these private conversations. Both sisters have faced immense pressure as they navigate their loyalty to their father while also maintaining strong ties to King Charles and the institution. They reportedly encouraged Andrew to cooperate, recognizing that resisting the king could further damage not only their father's standing, but their own future within the royal circle. But here's where things get even more dramatic. For months, Andrew was said to be defiantly refusing to budge. He believed he had a guaranteed agreement granted by the late Queen Elizabeth II, promising him lifelong residence at Royal Lodge. But legally, those terms are more complex than they appear, and emotionally, Charles is not bound by his mother's informal promises. this situation created a quiet but intense standoff between the king and his brother, one so sensitive that neither Buckingham Palace nor Andrew's camp has ever publicly addressed it. And then suddenly, everything went silent. No leaks. No new photos. No public appearances. That silence is exactly why insiders believe the secret deal was finalized. The change became visible in subtle ways. King Charles stopped pressing the issue publicly. Andrew stopped resisting. Royal staff began quietly preparing Frogmore Cottage for future use once again. And Andrew has noticeably kept himself out of headlines, out of controversy, and out of the public view, whether motivated by pressure, practicality, or exhaustion. One thing seems certain: Andrew knows this is the endgame. His public life as a royal is over. His privileges have been stripped away. And the only thing left to protect is the privacy and stability of his daughters, who continue to navigate life between royal duty and a quiet desire for normalcy. King Charles, for his part, emerges from this alleged agreement stronger and more calculated than ever. This is a king who understands the weight of his crown. He is determined to reshape the monarchy into a streamlined, scandal-free institution. And he is willing to make difficult decisions, even when those decisions involve his own family. This secret deal, if true, marks one of the most consequential moves of his reign. It isn't just about property or finances, it's about the future of the monarchy. It's about ensuring that the past doesn't overshadow the next generation. And it's about preserving the crown during a time of transition, uncertainty, and global scrutiny. Thank you for joining Crown Chronicles, where we peel back the curtain and bring you the stories few dare to tell. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more explosive royal insights, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps us continue unraveling the mysteries, the drama, and the untold truths behind the world's most famous family, and trust us, there's always more brewing behind palace walls. Stay tuned.